Hello, SpongicX here, and I'm going to be doing a video on Garry's Mod. So, for those who've never heard of Garry's Mod, it's basically a mod of various games, mostly Half-Life 2. It uses the engine that was built to make Half-Life 2, and it mixes it with a few other games like Counter-Strike Source, and so this originally started off as a free-to-play game, but trying to get like a lot of the stuff working was really complicated. So they made a retail version for $10, and it makes playing the game a lot easier. So there's no doubt that Garry's Mod is not a very new game anymore. But I remember like when this first came out, a lot of people loved it, and even to this day, people still make videos out of it, despite how outdated it kind of is. And so, like, obviously the graphics, like, while they were state-of-the-art at the time, they have not aged very well, but there's still no denying that this game has a lot of fun that can be done. So, it's a sandbox game, meaning there's no goals. You can just do whatever you want. Although, it is kind of cool how, the main game of Half-Life 2 is built into this game, so you can actually load up chapters from that game and just mess around with them, basically. Like, change your player models to ridiculous characters, and so I remember what got me into Garry's Mod to begin with was, I came across the forums, you know, back then I was a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, so I always looked up things Sonic the Hedgehog related, and somehow my searching for Sonic the Hedgehog related stuff led me to the the Face Punch forums, which is like the official forums for people on both Garry's Mod or just like Steam editing and all that, or Valve editing, and so I came across this game, Garry's Mod. I saw people did, like, they managed to rip models from Sonic Heroes. They ported them into the game, not only as player models, but also as ragdolls. And so, ragdolls are basically what I'm here to demonstrate today. So, ragdolls are basically limbless versions of character models that you can pose. And so you can either make screenshots or just use them as, like, punching dummies or something. And so I remember that's the main reason I loved playing this game back then. I loved posing the models and taking pictures of them. Or sometimes I like just messing around with them in general. And so I've got a lot of packs to cover, so I won't be able to do this all in one video, that's for sure. But, oh man, I have no idea what happened there, but that was weird. Let's see. Okay, I guess I won't be using that model, but so I guess, okay, here's a good starter. So here we have Banjo from Banjo-kazooie Nuts and Bolts. So you can pick him up using what's known as the gravity gun. So, like, you've probably seen this on the internet before, like, people making videos where they just have characters flail around like a crazy Muppet, and chances are they were playing with Garry's Mod when they did that. So for those who've seen stuff like this but don't know where it came from, this is what it's from. And so, yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do a video series where I demonstrate a lot of the ragdolls. And so, it's hard to say how much of this video will, you know, how long this video could go on, or, you know, I'll definitely have to make it into a series or something. But there's a lot of models I'd be able to cover, and I thought it'd be cool to not only go over them, but also demonstrate, like, well, compare them to other models and say, like, if I think, whoever ported this into the game did a good job or not. So here we have what's said to be Banjo from Banjo-kazooie Nuts and Bolts, but actually this is a rip from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which was basically just a dumbed-down version of the model. It's possibly the same model, but you can tell they did different things with it, though. Like they lowered the textures and got rid of the actual fur render the character had. Either way, it's still kind of a nightmare to look at, but so, what can you do in Garry's Mod? Well, like I said, you can use weapons to do stuff like this. Or, it's funnier if, like, you don't have, you know, here, what? Okay, so, yeah. Or, this is a heavy model. So, yeah, you can do stuff like that. You can take pictures. Throw grenades. There's also, like, all these fun weapon packs you can get. And so, yeah, like, one of these days I'm definitely gonna have to, do that, like, so right now I mostly want to demonstrate the ragdolls, but otherwise one of these days I might have to, go over, like, what you can do in this game, like, some of the other mods I found with, like, the weapons, or, levels especially, that'd be fun, but, it'd be impossible to do that all in one video, and heck, just showing all the showing all the ragdolls I want to show would take too long, so let's see. I think for this video, a good idea would be, let's see, where's the ragdoll? Let's see, the stand pose or T-poser. Stand pose, here we go. So this would probably be best. give us a good idea of, like, how the model looks. And so, overall, I think this is a decent model. Okay, so I think overall the model's okay. Like, it's, you know, they did a good job at not only porting the model over, but, it's pretty flexible. There's some models in this game that are really stiff and hard to pose, and so, for the most part, I think this one's okay. But, I forgot to see, does this one have face posing, though? I guess not. It claims it has face posing, but I don't see, there's no, like, no way to, like, change the eyelids or anything, so... It's like it technically does, but it's not actually programmed to have any in it, so, yeah. Let's see, I don't think this has body groups either. Now, body groups is where you can actually change, like, some models have, like, they're programmed to multiple different textures and stuff like that, and so you can switch them using the body group tool to change their outfits or accessories, and so this one definitely does not have any of that, so never mind. Okay, here's a new model, Irida from Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, like I said, this is a pretty recent model since that game isn't that old. It's only from January. So, Irida, she is definitely one of my favorite non-playable characters in the game. She was the leader of the Pearl Clan, and, so, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely her model. Let's see, does it have the face posing? Let's find out. Or, not body manipulation, I mean, let's see. Easy body group tool is what I meant to say. So, you can change her skin tone for some reason. Get rid of her headband, her armbands, and ankle band. Otherwise, I don't think she has any face posing. Face posing is usually for like those who have like really flexible faces, and I don't think this uses any actual face building. Like her face is mostly made of textures. So, like, they didn't actually sculpt an eyeball into the character model. So, usually, models that don't have that will not have face posing. Oh, my God. What the hell happened? I stand corrected. I think she does have it, but something went really off. Let's see. Okay, yep, she has face posing, but some of the facial expressions just do not work. So you can flex her eyebrows, sadness, and all that. Okay, cool. So, yeah, So, overall, yeah, this is a decent model, I'd say. They did a good job at pouring the character over. She's pretty flexible, easy to move. Because, yeah, trust me, there's some models in here that are a pain to puppeteer. And so, luckily, the first two I've seen are not that case. Okay, now we have Dawn from Pokemon Masters. Which is like a mobile phone game. And so far, I'm seeing, like, the model looks nice, but I can definitely say the skirt and legs, there's a problem. You see her leg is clipping through the skirt. It's kind of weird. Let's see. She's a bit heavy for some reason. Like, usually you want to move the character by the head. To start, like, you pose their head first, then you start, like, bending the body to move it. And so, this one is not easy to pose. Otherwise, I like the model. Like, Dawn's definitely one of my favorite Pokemon trainers. Diamond Pearl, in fact, is one of my favorite Pokemon games. But, yeah, I'd have to say the model, like, the posing in this is pretty bad. And look at that. You can also see, like, the polygons on her arm. Like, you can see, like, some of these tries are sticking out. So, yeah. Nice model, but poorly rigged. Okay, so this is a player model. So, player models usually don't make for good ragdolls. They usually act really spazzy, so, yeah, unfortunately, maybe one of these days I'll do a video on the actual non-playable characters, but for right now I really can't do anything about it. No point in demonstrating a model that's not going to work. So this is a player model, but, it works more like a ragdoll. It's still pretty stiff, though, but, so here we have General Scales from Star Fox Adventures. A very underrated character, like, but then again, they really didn't give him a proper conclusion because they just abruptly wrote him out of the game without. They didn't even kill him off or anything. I mean, at least like when Conquer decided to change the villain, at least they killed off the main villain. But so otherwise, it's a decent model considering how it's from an old GameCube game. Otherwise, it doesn't have much to do. It's pretty stiff with movement-wise. It doesn't have any posing. But then again, it's a player model. The player models are usually kind of unresponsive, so there's that. King DDD from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This should be interesting. Okay. So he's obviously heavy, but there's nothing you can really do about that. Otherwise, he's easy to rotate, at least. That's good. Let's see. Let's look at the detail up close. Like, yeah, it uses, like, that effect where it tries to make things look fuzzy from a distance, but then close up, you can see, like, that weird, effect. I really don't know, like, the technicality of it. I know it's some kind of, I heard, like, it's something to do with where, like, they program, like, the 3D engine to kind of, like, duplicate the textures over and over and give it, like, this distortion effect, which, gives it that fuzzy texture. You saw it in games like Conquer Live and Reloaded, Cameo, Elements of Power, even Mario Galaxy. And so, I always like it when you see that effect, though. You don't see it very much anymore in games, and I personally love it when video games try to make the characters look fuzzy. I mean, there's obviously wrong ways of doing it. Like, I can probably say, like, DDD's fuzz texture probably looked a little better in gameplay in Smash Brothers compared to in Garry's mod, but otherwise, this is his model from Ultimate, and I thought DDD looked pretty good in that game. In fact, I'd say that was one of his, that and Brawl were, like, some of my favorite appearances of the character. I think he looks better in those than he does in the actual Kirby games. So let's see, does he have face posing? No, he does not. Does he have body group? He does, and it gives him his mask. Cool. So, overall, DDD is a pretty cool, yeah, pretty cool model. I like this one. Bikini All-Star Mai. So, Mai from the King of Fighters series, or Fatal Fury. So, let's see. So, yeah, what can you say? It's Mai in a bikini. 10 out of 10. But let's see. It's kind of stiff, to be honest. Otherwise, it moves, well, I guess. But yeah, like, I remember just having so much fun doing that as a kid, just taking character models and posing them around and taking funny screenshots, that was always the best. Okay, so here's Dot Warner from Animaniacs, made by J.C. Thornton, who's been doing a really good job with these models. He makes, like, really good models for the most part. They're not perfect, though. Like, they look great, but you could definitely say they could use some more work when it comes to, like, the posing. But he's still learning, you know, so I'll give him credit for that. Like, for a guy who's learning, he does a really good job. I know he's trying to make a break as an animator now. He's announced, like, he's trying to make his own series. Aren't we all? You know, I'd still love to get my series, Nick Clunk and Tree. Let's start it. But I love how he's, like, really trying to, probably better than me, though. Like, he's actually gotten, like, a team who's already trying to make, like, a pilot animation where, you know, usually, like, people in Garry's mod, they rip models straight from games and port them in. And so this guy, he does all of his models by himself. And some of them he even tries giving, like, his own little style. And he usually loves to rip, animal characters. So characters from, like, Looney Tunes or Conker. And he does a really good job with them. They're pretty expressive, too. Let's see. I know, like, he really wanted to try making a Looney Tunes revival along with a Conker animated series. And he basically got turned down by Warner Brothers for making that Looney Tunes show. So he can't even make it as a fan project, apparently, which is a real shame. He was really looking forward to that. So, yeah, I feel bad for that. It's like, I know how it feels like when you really want something to happen, then the people who are in charge of making it happen say no. It's like, oh, that can be heartbreaking. But I've never had to personally go through that, though. I've never actually approached someone with an idea. Because, I mean, usually, if anything, I'd sometimes, like, I've contacted people before, though, and said, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you made a game like this? And then it's like, yeah, there's really nothing they can do about it, or they're not interested, so here you can, like, make her flower disappear, you can make her gloves disappear, make her skirt disappear. I don't know why you do, and I'm afraid to touch the bottom one, so, yeah. Okay, let's see. Face posing, face posing. I forgot, does this have eye posing? Nope. Not surprised, though. She doesn't really have any proper eyeballs. Face posing. Oh, God, what the hell? Why does it always make such nightmarish faces? I thought this was a fixed face poser. It is not fixed. I need to uninstall this face poser. This is a nightmare. Okay, and I'm back. So let's see, Yeah, I had to uninstall the face... I had something that was said to fix the face posing, and no, it made it worse. But otherwise, yeah, the Animaniacs ragdoll is pretty good with a dot. And so, speaking of Animaniacs, here's another one. Hello, nurse. And so, unfortunately, I say like they did a good... J.C. Thornton did a good job at capturing the appearance. However, I feel like this one's kind of a pain to pose with. I hate to say it, but she moves more like a stiff sex doll. Not that I would know, but... Clothing physics are kind of weird, but... Let's see. Does she have face posing? Oh, God. And the face posing still is acting up really badly, but... Yeah, I remember, like, I always had fun with this back then, just messing around with the face posing. You can get some really nightmarish faces this way, too, but... Problem is that I feel like a lot of these don't work. It's like, look, I'm moving the sliders and nothing's moving. I think that's why I installed that, that's probably why I installed that thing to begin with that was supposed to enhance the face posing, but all it did was make it more worse. The problem here is that nothing's coming out, really, and then when I go any bigger, it makes things worse. All of a sudden, I don't know, so this one does not have the best face posing. It does work better in Source Filmmaker, though, I know that for sure, but... So... has eye posing, but the eye posing is kind of a nightmare to work with. Let's see. Body group tool. So you can get rid of her hat and get rid of her shoes. Don't know why, but okay. Okay, it's an okay model, but I feel like the posing could use a little work. Okay, Minerva Mink, another Animaniacs character. Hello, nurse again. So, overall, I think this is a nice model, but once again, I think that the dress physics are kind of weird. Just doesn't look natural. This one has a bunch of outfits, though, if I recall, so let's see. You got her robe. So all of these are based on, like, appearances from the actual show. Her gym outfit. Or just, like, casual outfit. Need I say anymore? I forget I did that. Let's see. Also, it has a different hairstyle. And you can give her wristbands. So... Yeah, I don't know why J.C. Thornton does that with all of his models. He gives, like, I can say, like, the only thing that can really come in handy for it for non-creepy purposes is, it can give you a study of the character shape, so if you want to try giving them different outfits. Because, you know, sometimes in Garry's mod, you can get, like, different little outfit accessories, and you can pose them onto the characters. And so, making them naked is a good way of fitting it onto them. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of weird. At least there's no, body parts shown, but... Okay, Minerva Mink, it's an okay model. Okay, another Animaniac, Slappy Squirrel. And, oh no, she's naked! Oh wait, that's by default. Okay, so let's see. I think they got the face right. So let's see. Once again, I think the posing on this one feels a little off. Yeah, like, obviously these models were made more for Source Filmmaker, so if you want a better chance at posing the models, you're better off putting them in a Source Filmmaker. But even then, though, there are still models that are better to pose with. Like, look at here, like, at the corner there, you see, like, how there's some really sharp edges, or... So, it doesn't have the best polys, I guess. The ankles look kind of weird, too. But, otherwise, like, it definitely looks like her character. So, not bad for a fan creation. Let's see. I don't think she'll have many, body groups. Let's see. Oh, she has a nightgown? Okay. That wasn't there the last time I used it, but yeah, J.C. Thornton did say he updated some of his models, so you can give her a nightcap or no hat, and you can give her a purse. Okay. So, yeah, Slappy Squirrel, like, fun character, but I don't know. I felt like the model could have used a little more work, but it's not bad, though. Not bad for a fan creation. So far, I think out of all the ones I've seen, the Dot one was the best, and so I think it's safe to assume that Wacko will be just about the same. I mean, he's, like, the same height as Dot, so it's like you could easily tell, like, he just took, like, the same model and did not have to do much to modify it into a different character. But I love how you look at a lot of J.C. Thornton's character models. You can tell, like, how he definitely took inspiration from one character to another. So, like, you can see, like, with his Barry model, you can tell that was heavily influenced by his Lola Bunny model. Or, you can tell, like, or like this kind of reminds me of his Conker model with the shirt that Wacko's wearing. Kind of looks like the shape he used for his Conker model. And I like that about his models. He's able to take what looks familiar and readjust it to match a different character. It's kind of cool. That basically is what animation is when it comes to working with 3D models. It's taking a bunch of different shapes and molding them into something else. So let's see, you can get rid of his gloves, his hat. Have we ever seen him without his hat? That might be a first, but... And, his sweater. Good grief, he's naked! So, yeah, once again, just like Dot, it's a decent model. Okay, so last for the Animaniacs models, we have Yakko Warner, the oldest of the siblings, and oh boy. This one has a little more weight to it, so this one will probably be a little harder to pose compared to Dot and Wacko. I wish these models were easier to pose, but like there's some other models where you grab like their limbs and it's easy to move them around, but I feel like the ears could have been a little more flexible. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely say I like Yakko Wacko. Well, I liked Wacko and Dot a little better, but not bad though. Good grief, he's naked again. Good night, everybody. Okay. Apuck Hedgie. I remember, like, this guy used to make a lot of models, so... I'm not sure if he still does, though, but let's see. We got the bus from Battle for Bikini Bottom. Pretty low res. Yeah, I remember, like, having fun with that back then, like, just summoning NPCs and dropping items on them. And you can be so morbid in this game. You can even drop it on yourself, like this. Yes, I was Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe that'll be for another video where I'll show all the other videos I made. I mean, where I show all the other player models I downloaded, I meant. But so, I'm not going to go over all these because I'm not really familiar, but we got characters from, like, Bleach. It's included in this pack. Let's see. You got a few weapons, too. I have no idea what this thing is. Let's see. Tifa from, Dissidia 2, or the sequel to, or prequel to Dissidia for PlayStation P. I used to have that game back when I had a PSP, and I remembered kind of liking it. So ashamed to hear that the one they made for PS4 was actually disappointing. That's quite unfortunate, but... considering how this was a PSP game, yeah, I think this model is really good looking. But then again, Square Enix was usually pretty good at making models around the PS2 era, and still today. But, I think, like, their PS1 models have aged really badly, and yeah, shake it, Tifa. So this one's really flexible, that's nice, easy to pose. I don't think this one will have any body group tools or anything. Oh, it does, so let's see. Oh, wow. You got, like, a crystallized form. You can change her eye textures, her mouth textures. And you can equip, like, her little weapons on her gloves, whatever you call them. I'm not sure, but okay. So I'm guessing it's safe to assume this one won't have face posing since it uses eye textures. But overall, yeah, this is a neat model. I like it. That might have been the main reason I got that pack, along with the Wreck-It Ralph one. So this is from Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. Wow, this is surprisingly easy to pose. I'm impressed. I was thinking with a big guy like him, this would have been impossible. So, yeah, obviously he kind of has a bit of a derpy face. I mean, this was before the Kingdom Hearts 3 era where, you know, there's no denying that Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best that any Disney character has ever looked in a video game. While still not perfect, it came very close, but I'd say even for a PS3 game, this isn't a bad model, though, and considering how it was for, out of all games, a Sonic the Hedgehog racing game. Oh my god, and you can get rid of his hair for some reason. Oh my god, now he looks like one of those characters from GTA 4 or something. I don't know, but never played any of those games, but he looks like a GTA character all of a sudden. So, let's see, does this have face posing? It claims it does, but I don't think any of these are working. I don't get that. Like, why is it that when I move these, none of them are moving? I just don't get it. Apparently, I had to raise the sensitivity. Oh, God. Kill it with fire. Okay. So, overall, aside from the Nightmare Fuel, yeah, that was a decent model. I don't know why I still have the bus out. Here's a funny model. Remember when, Street Fighter, Tekken basically trolled the audience and said Mega Man was gonna be in the game, and said they used like a parody of that awful North American box art version of him. So, yeah, someone thought it would be a good idea to port this ugly thing into the game. Okay, so yep, it has face posing. Just like Ralph, it's surprisingly not that heavy to control. Let's see. Body groups. None. So, yeah, overall this is a pretty funny, model to just, like, to joke around and torture. Here we got an R-Wing. Whoa, that is big. Look at that compared to the Bikini Bottom bus. So, yeah, obviously this is a heavy model, but what do you expect from something that's actually supposed to be heavy? Has some weird gravity, though. It floats in the air a bit. Unfortunately, it does not have good sword distance, so you can't toss like a paper airplane. That sucks, but otherwise, it's a nice model. I'm trying to think, is this the one from Assault, or... Wow, that was from Brawl. Not bad for a Wii game. But... Okay, so here's a weird pack. We got Banjo-kazooie model. So, a lot of props, and I don't think I'm actually going to go around and, like, review every single prop. Let's go with the models that can actually be posed. So, here, we got Sexy Grunty from the Game Over screen of Banjo-kazooie, and, yeah, that was weird. What would happen if Gruntilda succeeded in the game? She would have, got this body compared to how she actually looks. And so, usually N64 games are a nightmare to port into, Garry's Mod or Source Filmmaker. And so, this was an old model, though. I remember this was ported, like, decades ago, in fact, or over a decade ago. And even then, I think it still holds up, though. I mean, not only was Rare good at modeling, but whoever ported this over did a good job. I don't think... This one will not have any face posing or anything, though. Like, I think this was made long before body groups or face posing was even possible in these kind of games. Aside from, like, the humanoid characters from Half-Life 2. But, so how did that come from this? I don't get how stealing the looks from a cute little girl bear turned Grunty from this to this. It just makes no sense. So, anyways, 2D. Let's go on to 2D. So, wow, this one's kind of weak. It's like you move just like her head and then all of her body parts move. I'm not sure if you can close her mouth, but nope, I guess not. But, so she always has this derpy expression, and so yeah, this is a hard character to pose. I definitely say Sexy Grunty is a lot easier to mess with. Well, at least her pigtails have some movement, but Grunty, though, this is honestly an ugly model. I don't know, it looked better in Banjo-kazooie. I don't know how to explain it. I think, was it I can't tell what it is, like, was this untextured wrong, or, I'm pretty sure they used the wrong textures, because I'm pretty sure her outfit did not use a solid black color. It had, like, a bit of, like, some patches of blue or something here and there, or, not patches per se, but just, like, little smudges of texture to give it more of an appearance. And I at least know it looks more detailed than Banjo-tooie, but, so, there's something about her face, though. It just, either way, it just looks so untextured. I don't know how to say it, but, I mean, yeah, like, you look at this, it looks like it has better textures. Just look at the dress, like how it has the shine and all of that, and, but then this, it just looks so untextured. So I don't know what to say, but yeah, I can definitely say out of those models, Sexy Grunty was the better one. Here we have Banjo. This is the first time Banjo was ported into game, and oh my god, this is terrible. I tried rotating him by the chest, and that did not work. That was stiff. So this one's actually really hard to pose with. Sometimes the best thing you can do is if you can't pose their head right away, you gotta then grab their... You gotta lock on their head, grab their torso, then lock it, then grab their head again, and then pose it. It's a little tricky to do it. There is, actually there is something called the ragdoll poser tool, but it doesn't work very well. Like, sometimes it actually causes the models to act really glitchy. And so you're better off just using Source Filmmaker if you want to pose the models in these games, but... So, yeah, I think, once again, this is a pretty ugly model. The textures just don't look right. Like, look at his pupils, how you can actually see, like, these little borders. And then, do I need to say more about the chest? You can see, like, a big patch where some of the texture looks like it's missing. I know it's not just because this is an old N64 game. You know, you play, like, you play the HD version of Banjo-kazooie on Xbox Live Arcade, or hell, even the N64 version on Nintendo Switch Online, and you can see how the textures are a little more polished than this. I feel like the color scheme's a little wrong, too. Banjo looks too dark of a brown here. He's supposed to... Like, I remember in the original game, his arms were kind of miscolored. They had, like, an orangish color. But either way, he's supposed to be a much lighter brown, not this dark of a brown. So, yeah. How is it that only Sexy Grunty is the only one out of the Banjo pack that actually aged well? Let's see. Ding Pot. I think, for the most part, the model looks cool, and I like how even his spoon moves around when you move. Otherwise, he's a hard character to pose, and I do think, the liquid inside of him looks a little lower res than it did in the actual game, so there's that, too. But otherwise, yeah, I'll at least say it looks better than the other characters, aside from Sexy Grunty. And then Gruntilda's broom, and so there's not much to this one. It's just a broom with a face on it. Can't flex his mouth, and... there's something weird looking about, like, the bristle of it. It's like, I know, like, some N64 games, they had it where their textures had, like, these black borders on them, and the N64 had certain graphic settings that was supposed to, like, disable, like, the brown or black parts of the textures, so it appears more like, a clear image instead of a thick brown border, and so here, someone couldn't figure out how to do that clearly, and to be fair, I wouldn't know how to do that either. You know, I'm just a spectator, so I don't know exactly all the detail that goes into this stuff, but I've seen some people do videos on, like, how some of this stuff works, and so here's a model from an actual stage you can play in Garry's Mod, based on one of the battlefields from the Smash Brothers games. Okay, here's an interesting pack. The Biker Princesses. So, the models of Daisy, Peach, and Rosalina from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or Mario Kart 8 in general. So, let's see. Let's just... I think for this one, I'll have them lined up before I judge them each. I hated that about, like, Mario games, how the characters have such blank stares, and to this day, even some of them still do, and they're able to fix it in some games. Like, I think Luigi's Mansion was the most personality we've seen out of these characters, but before that, though, like, they're, like, before this, like, I'd say the Wii U era was the last era where we had the dead stare of these characters, but they're getting a little better nowadays, though. But, so, let's see, aside from the creepy default faces, I think the models look okay, though. Let's see, how do they move? Yeah, they move pretty well. At least for, they even gave her, like, her hair bouncing physics, that's cool. Let's see, body group. So, you, just changing the expressions. Kind of limited, though, but... Okay. So, yeah, Daisy checks out. And so, I think it's safe to assume that the other characters will have, like, the same expressions as Daisy did. And the same movement. So, obviously, Rosalina, for some reason, like, although she always didn't start off that way, ever since the Mario Kart era, like, ever since she first appeared in Mario Kart for Wii, they decided it would be interesting to have, like, one heavy female character. And so they thought, why not make Rosalina a heavy character? And ever since, Nintendo's had this obsession with making her taller. It's like, it started off as just a thing to do in Mario Kart to, you know, make it where, oh, we finally have a female character to rival, like, the weight of Bowser or Wario. But it just feels so weird, though, because Rosalina's not, like, a fat character. I don't see how just being, like, a few feet taller, or just, like, a foot taller than Peach all of a sudden makes her heavy. It's so weird. I don't get that, but... Otherwise, like, yeah, these are decent models. They got good textures. I like how, like, even when you move the characters, you kind of see the textures move around a bit. Kind of gives the illusion that the outfit is flexible, skin tight. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Oh boy. Pokemon. So, I don't know. I might have to come back to this for a later video, because I think maybe the Pokemon ones deserve their own videos. But here we have Abra. Yeah, dedication to those who actually took all the time to rip all the models in this game. And hell, I'm too lazy to even take a screenshot of every Pokemon in games. Once I was like obsessed with doing that, where with like every Pokemon game I had, I used to like want to take a screenshot every time a different Pokemon showed up. But then it came to a point where it's like, why did I do this? So what am I even going to do with it? Some of these are Pokemon I don't even like. So why do I want pictures of them on my hard drive? So one day I had to do some like a storage cleanup, you know, clear some room on my external hard drive. And yeah, I deleted a bunch of those. But so here we have Abra. Can't really say I'm a big fan of this Pokemon, but yeah, this one's kind of hard to pose with, though. Moongus. Pretty butt-ugly fungus. Once again, this one's not very easy to pose. I think these do have body groups, though, and you can even change them to their shiny form. Yep. I mean, that is dedication there. They even include their shiny textures. That's so cool. Even their they even have face posing. So I don't think I'm going to go through every single Pokemon here, but I think it's safe to assume that almost all of these will have, like, the same amount of craftsmanship, but... Oh, what was the name of this one again? Aquaranid? Can't remember which game this came from. This is from one of the... I think this was from one of the DS ones, though, but Black and White, possibly, or... So, yeah, it's creepy looking. I can imagine this one would also be a nightmare to pose with due to all the limbs. But... Okay, so Ariados, this one doesn't pose very well. Like, everything just droops. Okay, Bannet. Oh, wow, this one's actually a little bit easier to move. Hard to believe. But then again, it basically is a ragdoll itself. It's a possessed doll. My only complaint are the arms. The arms do not move very well. And do I need to say more about the feet? So, otherwise the head and body poses well. It's just the feet and all that. Feet and arms. The limbs. Okay. Oh, we got its, Mega Evolve form. Oh, cool. I like that. Okay, I'd say that one's actually better, but... Okay, Bastiodon. Oh, wow, they even gave him a steel texture. I like how some models do that. They give it the texture, physics, and sound effects and other physics in the Half-Life 2 games. So this one's kind of hard to pose, though, but I do like how they're able to make it clanky like it's actually metallic. It is a steel-type Pokemon, after all. But okay, Beartic. Some of these like white characters look terrible in Garry's mod because of the bloom effect and all that. You can shut it off, but even with it off, it just looks kind of bad in some areas. But so far, I am not liking this model. It's hard to keep him up. Like, he just has too much. There's just too much that causes him to droop around by default. So, yeah. Let's see how the limbs move, though. He's got just like way too many bones. Yeah, I'd say so far that's the worst one I've seen. I don't hate Beartic as a Pokemon, I just don't think he's easy to pose in this. But let's see, Beautifly. I wonder if you have a body group to change its little mouthpiece there. You have one that'll make it curl. Let's find out. Nope. That's weird. So by default, it doesn't curl its little mouth thing. See, the wings are kind of hard to pose. Okay, do I really even need to try to pose this one? Wow, it's heavy, though. You could kill an NPC just by throwing it at their head. Bellsprout. Oh god, how is this thing impossible to move? It's like, you think it would be light, and no, it's heavy. This is ridiculous. Okay, this one's a nightmare to pose with. No thanks. Okay, B-Sharp. Is that right? B sharp? Yeah, B sharp. Huh. For a Pokemon called B sharp, it sure has some flaily looking arms. You think, like... I thought its hands were supposed to be like spikes, and here it's flipping around, it's flapping around like mittens. It's not easy to pose either. I wish there was an easier way to pose in Garry's mod. I hate how even what's supposed to be called the model, like, the posing tool doesn't even work right. And it sometimes makes some of the body parts unresponsive to where you can't move them at all. So, yeah, this is... Like, I think the models of these Pokemon are cool, but they are not very well rigged. Oh, God, this is one of those, the Ultra Beast, I think is what they're called. You got that weird one. Okay, Buffalint. I don't like how his head just sags like that. Okay, that one's a nightmare to pose. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Buffalint's afro. Stick that on random models. Braviary. Something tells me this is going to be a nightmare to pose. It can't even spread its wings, as far as I know. Oh, there we go. Never mind. You had to use body group. And there's still a nightmare to pose, though. Why is it so hard to just have it where you can just, like, lift it up and then have it bend the way it's supposed to? Instead, it just makes it look all jagged and, That's what I hate about... I am not good at posing with models. But there are some models that are easier to pose than others, and that's not one of them. Bronzor... Who wants to play Frisbee? Oh, wow, it actually worked! That's cool. Whee! Burmy. Oh, God. How is this thing so heavy? That thing on its head makes it top heavy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that is not a good model. Not a very good Pokemon either. Butterfly. I mean, Butterfree. Ugh. Oh, God. It feels like a dead bug. Why is this so heavy? It's a freaking butterfly. I swear. Why are some of these small Pokemon so hard to carry? Oh, God. It's Larry the Lobster. I mean, I never knew this guy's name, but Buzzwole. Okay. Look at me dance around like a frilly girl. Let's see, what... Oh, it's that turtle Pokemon. What was its name again? Caracosta. I like how its shell makes a hard sound effect. That's kind of cool. Once again, not very good for posing, though, but good for dancing around like a lunatic. Cascoon. Who wants to go bowling? Caterpie. How do animators animate these things? How flaily their bodies are. The fact that you have to animate one piece after another to get the whole thing moving. I could never figure out how to recycle animations either, because I know that's like what people do when they make an animation. They're able to make a loop out of it or save it into a separate file so they can always load it up, and I was never able to figure out how to do that. So the only way I can animate in animation software is by doing it the old-fashioned way, like in a stop-motion form, by grabbing the pieces and moving them bit by bit, but even then, I'm just terrible at it. Okay, Clamperl. Yep, that's all it does. Combee. Well, at least this one's easy to move. How about the wings, though? Corsola. Yep, that's Corsola, alright. Cradily. Or Lily, I mean. Oh, no, that's Cradily, never mind. Let's see. I wonder if there's something you can do to... No, just, that you can do to make its, those little frill things around its neck, shoot out. That's weird, but... What was his name? Crustly? Or Crustle, okay. It's just a giant hermit crab with a big block of soil for its back. Otherwise, yeah, this one's surprisingly light. Not sure how well the limbs move, though, but... Oh, God. Cub Chew. I think this thing would be more adorable if it weren't for the giant snot bubble coming out of its nose. How do the paws move? Okay. Not the best, but they move at least. Cubone. Well, easy to stand up at least, but otherwise impossible to pose with how tiny its limbs are. Let's see. Darkrai, you got one with legs and one with no legs. Oh god, let's go to the one with no legs. Ugh. This one's really hard to pose due to the hair. If that even is hair. This one's pretty hard to pose, to be honest. Darmanitan, whatever the hell this thing's name is. Darmanitan, or... I like how the eyebrows are flexible. Once again, posing's kind of hard for the limbs. I'm guessing some of these will probably have finger posing. Let's find out. Let's see, finger poser. Yep, it has finger posing. I was able to bend his thumb uncomfortably, so... Delibird. This is not a good model. Like, just the way it poses, or like, it just sags around, it just looks so uneven. I don't like that. Do what diddy diddy dum diddy dum diddy. Quit touching your groin, sicko. This one's not very good either. The limbs just keep, like, sinking into the body. Let's see. Okay, that's cute. Let's see, we got, Diglett. A Alolan Diglett. Why is it so heavy, though? I like how it drops, like, when you let it go. Just plop. At least this one can stand up straight. Let's see. Donphin. Oh, wow. I can tell this one's going to be hard to pose. They added too much flexibility in some of these models where it's like, do they really need it? I know this is a Pokemon that can roll into a ball, but come on. Pretty sure it wasn't this flexible in the games. Oh god, this is going to be a nightmare to pose. Drapion. Okay, let's see. Drillburt. Ugh. Why is his body twisting like that? I don't like that one. Drowsy. Once again, it's like everything just keeps sinking into each other. Doug Trio, need I say more? Duosian. Yeah, how are you supposed to pose that thing? Durant. That thing is heavy. A lot bigger than I was expecting to. Oh god. This is a real clunky mess. Dustox. Well, this one's a little easier to pose with because it doesn't move much. Fly! see, Dwebble. This one's going to be hard to pose, I can imagine. Everything just flops around. Electabuzz. Electivire. He dances so seductively. Electrode. Ah, I was hoping he'd have roll physics. He just drops like a brick when you let him go. That sucks. Let's see, oh, cool. Ah! That sucks. Ella Kid. Embor. Explode. Flygon. Fortress. I do like how, wow, it seems, yeah, that's cool. I do like that, actually, how the center can spin. Cool. Let's see. Frillish, isn't that the name of this? This one looks like it will not be easy to pose when it comes to the arms or tentacles. And it's spazzing out. Do I need to say it? Ghastly. Oh, you can go bowling with that one at least. Cool. Yeah, that's the fun thing about Garry's mod. You can make your own games with it. Like, you can set up a bunch of... you can play Pokemon bowling. You can set up certain Pokemon that can get knocked over, like, bowling pins, and then just throw the Gengar at them. And... Ghastly, I mean. And, let's see, Alolan Geodude. The arms are still kind of torturous to move, but... Yeah, it's so much easier to animate in Source Filmmaker where you just use, like, these little wheels to, you drag these wheels to cause the characters to move their limbs. It's so much easier where, like, in Source Filmmaker, you can click on a limb and then, or, like, you see, like, the skeletal structure of the characters. You can click on a certain limb and then move it around. That's so much easier than what you do here. Gorbis. Oh, man, this one would be a nightmare to put. Everything just droops! Give its nose some Viagra. There we go. It looks like it just came out of a tube of toothpaste. Gothita. Wow, that's cute. You can't even pose anything of it. It's just Evolved forms can't be any better. Ugly goth Lolita Pokemon. Looks like a Lost Betty Boop character. Graveler, Alolan. Limbs still suck. Grimer, Alolan. Why does the Alolan Grimer look like he just vomited piss? It's like he was about to pass out. I am the great mighty Grimer. Okay, this little grub. Let's see, Gulpin. I don't know why, but I always kind of like Gulpin, and especially its evolved form Swalot. Oh god, oh god. What was the name of this one again? That one's nightmarish. Guzzlord. Yep, that sums it up, but... Oh my god, that thing is just creepy. Hunter. I mean, who doesn't love Hunter? Okay, I think the main body part of him is cool to move around, but let's see. What about the limbs? Yeah, have him just flip you off. Screw you, Game Freak! Okay, so obviously the hands don't have any posing, though, but I still think yours... Yeah, so far I think this is my favorite Pokemon model in this game. I just like, I wish it did have some finger posing, though, but I think with the simplicity, it allows you to do a lot of cool things with it, though. Yeah, I like this model. That's cool. Heatmore. The Anteater. Or should I say the Duranteater. And once again, it looks like this one needs some Viagra because he's just sagging around. I don't know why. This Pokemon always kind of grossed me out with his appearance. He looks like a living organ. It doesn't help that he has like all these pipes and one of them flat out comes out of his groin, it looks like. Ugh. Then how his tail looks like a tailpipe. It looks more like an... He looks more like an organ. Doesn't he kind of look like a heart or a lung or something? I don't know. I always thought the Pokemon looked kind of gross. Hitmonchan. For a Pokemon called Hitmonchan, he sure looks more like a woman with the way he's dressed. Okay, this one surprisingly stands up straight. So many of these Pokemon just, like, flop around when you pick them up, and so at least this one can stand up. But can he put him up? Let's see. Put him up. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little easier to pose, at least. That's cool. Okay. At least not all of the models on here are impossible to deal with. Some of these are good, but okay, Hitmontop. He can stand upright, but can he stand the way he's supposed to? Upside down. But... No. It's kind of hard. Okay, yeah, you can, but it takes a little bit of fighting the controls. But strangely enough, he stands up better on foot, where he's mostly known for standing upside down. But Hoot Hoot. I always loved how like the original artwork made it look like Hoot Hoot was a one-legged owl, but no, it's because it always loves hopping around on one foot. But yes, Hoot Hoot does indeed have 2 feet. It's just able to tuck in one after the other. And I remember Pokemon Stadium 2 did a good job at demonstrating that. You saw, like, when he was hopping, he had tucked one leg in after another. So he kept taking turns hopping on one leg and tucking the other one in. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Can you play Angry Bird with him? Yeah, you can. Yeah, get some spoinks out and then fire the Hoot Hoots at him. Okay, let's see. Huntail. Once again, a Pokemon with just way too much flexibility. It just makes them look too floppy. Hypno. Not the easiest to pose, but it's manageable. I just hate how, like, so many of these models, the limbs are just so heavy. Like, you just want to have them, like, bend their arms upward instead they just droop downward with force. It's so hard to... Oh, Hypno's Pendulum. Let's see. Oh, that's cool how, I like how they gave it, actual posing, but... Problem is that you try picking it up by the handle and it won't let you, because the... here, wait, let me see. There might be a workaround for this. And now it's glitching out. Ah, never mind. Illumis. Not very good limbs. Inkay. Jellicent. More like jealous much. I don't like it. The oversized parasol jellyfish thing. I'm guessing this one... Oh, wow, this actually is... I was thinking the feet wouldn't have done anything, but... I remember when I first saw Kabuto, I actually, like, my introduction to Kabuto was actually back, when Burger King was first promoting the Pokemon, movie, they had all those Pokemon toys. I remember the first one me and my sisters got was Kabuto. We thought it looked so cute at first. Like, oh, look at the little guy. Then you flip him over, it's like, oh my god! Ah! I remember it was also a water squirter. It had like a little squirt hole in the front so you could fill it with water and then squeeze its sides to have it squirt water. Man, remember when kids' meal toys were so cool back then? And then Kabutops. Why do so many of these Pokemon get spawned man-spreading? It's so weird. Oh god, this one's a nightmare to pose. Yeah, you don't really realize as a kid, but as an adult, you realize, wow, the Pokemon world will be scary to live in when you got things like that moving around. Maybe those things were fossilized for a reason. Kangaskhan. So, I'm guessing the baby will be a separate model. So if you want, you could always put it into the mother's pouch if you want to do a pose of a mama and baby Kangaskhan, but... Mommy has such a headache. Yep, there's the baby Kangaskhan. I remember how in Pokemon Stadium when Kangaskhan got defeated, you'd see the baby Kangaskhan fall out of the pouch and the mother just like faints right on it. I always thought that was dark but hilarious. Like, oh my god. Let's see, I honestly don't know what Pokemon that is. Kartana. Was that from Ultra Sun or Moon? Because, admittedly, Ultra Sun and Moon was the only game I did not get out of the Pokemon series. I did not like the main Sun and Moon game, so when I saw that they were just going to release the games again with just new editions, it's like, no thanks. I'd rather get a brand new game instead of another rehash. So, yeah, just Cog Pokemon. What more is there? I like how they move, at least. You spin one, the other moves. That's kind of cool, but... Okay. Let's see. What was this one's name? Krokorok? Ugh. Man, some of these are a nightmare to pose. It'd be so much easier to force Filmmaker where everything is stiff, not flailing around. I mean, yeah, you do have the stand-up tool, which does put the characters into, like, a T-posing state. The problem is that, like, undoing all the other limbs to move them around is kind of a nightmare. I don't know what you call these, but like the storm Pokemon. I always thought they kind of looked like genies, but... Larvitar. I always liked Larvitar and Tyranitar. Don't care too much for Pupitar, though. Not very easy to move, unfortunately. What else is new? Let's see. Ladian. I always kind of liked Ladian. There's something about Ladian where it almost kind of reminds me of Celebi. They almost have like a very similar silhouette. So obviously Celebi has more of like an onion-shaped head. Or a garlic-shaped head, where Ladian's is more oval, egg-shaped. Now, not to mention the extra limbs. Another ladybug Pokemon, Ladybug. Okay, Lily. Linoon. Or is it Linoon? It's like roadkill. Lumbre. Lotad. Cool, you can play Frisbee with him as well. Loudred. Ludicolo. This one's hard to pose. Scary thing is there are 2 other Pokemon packs like this out there. So I think I'm probably going to end the video once I get through this first one. I'm not sitting here all day. I knew this would be a big project going through all these models, but I still thought it would be fun. So I've never really actually seen anyone make a video where they go step by step showing all the different models you can download in Garry's mod. So no, I'm not actually going to go and download every single one. These are the ones that I downloaded, the ones I was interested in, because let's face it, if I download everything on the Steam Workshop, Garry's mod would probably have trouble running. I've even done some cleanup before on Garry's mod where like I felt like I have too many add-ons. Some of them are just way too similar to another, so I had to go through like a list and see which ones I don't need anymore. It's hard to remember when you got so many though. But okay, let's see. Magby, such a butt ugly Pokemon. I don't know what that is he's got on his head, but it looks malignant. Let's see, Macargo. I always liked Macargo. I just hate how weak his defense stats are. He gets knocked out way too easily. I love his design, though. I love how he's just like a lava snail. Magmar. Well, at least say Magby was kind of cuter. Instead of this ugly butt duck. Duck with a butt for eyebrows. But that's nothing compared to, oh god, Magmortar. More like Magmortard. He looks even worse. Okay, how is it that they considered Jinx to look like a black-faced Pokemon, but then they didn't take a second look at Magmortar? They thought this was okay. How did Jinx get away with it? I mean, does anyone else ever notice that? This kind of looks like blackface. That's just not right. Okay, let's see. Magnemite. This one's a little easier to move, but, okay, why does it have 2 little bolts that are like nipples? That is weird. Oh, god. This, on the other hand, would be a nightmare to pose. Let's see, yeah, we got Magnezone. I love Magnezone. Oh, you can throw that like a UFO. Cool. Oh, Ink Jays of all form. What was this one called again? But I always liked the design of this one. I liked how it's basically just an upside down squid, except the face is where the tentacles are. I don't know. I hear there are a lot of people who don't like this Pokemon. It's like, why? I think it's cool. I mean, look at that. It's an upside down squid. Like, usually that's like the top of a squid's head. Their eyes would be down here with the beak like down below, but they just kind of gave it like an upside down look. I don't know. I always thought it was kind of cool, actually. It's creepy looking, but cool. I mean, it's definitely not a pretty Pokemon to look at. It is a butt ugly Pokemon, but... Let's see, Mamoswine. I don't know. I personally like, Piloswine a lot better, along with... Swinub and Piloswine, I like them a lot better, but... Mamoswine's just kind of weird. Not a very well posable Pokemon either. Okay. What was this one called? The vulture Pokemon? Mandibuzz. Never liked this. I like Braviary a lot better. I mean, Braviary is considered its counterpart, or opposite. But Mankey. Fun fact, I actually have a family who originally their last name was Mankey. Although she's no longer with us. My grandma Kemker, she used to be a Mankey. So, I remember, I kind of laughed about that when, like, I first learned that her name was Mankey. I'm like, oh, you mean like the Pokemon? And she's like, I know nothing about Pokemon. Let's see, Mantine. I always liked this Pokemon. It's kind of cute. It's like the gentlest looking manta ray. It doesn't even look like, it doesn't even have a stinger. It just has a tail. This one's kind of derpy though. Not very easy to flex. Let's see, Mantike. This one's also hard to pose. Okay, let's see. Moraine or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Oh god! Oh, call an exorcist! Call an exorcist! Let's see, Marowak, ghost type, or a Alolan type. That was not easy to pose. I guess this one won't be either. This one's slightly easier to pose, but the limbs are still garbage. Marshadow. Oh, this is gonna be a pain to pose. Oh god, is that what its feet look like? Yikes, it looks like it could impale you. Let's see. Alolan Meowth. How come Meowth gets a special treatment? How come Meowth's the one that gets, like, multiple forms? It had an Alolan form and it had a Galar form. I thought, like, the Alolan form of Meowth was okay, but I absolutely hate its evolved form. Its version of Persian is pretty bad, but I'm not sure it's worse, that or the Galar forms. I did not care for either of the Galar forms. But... Meowth. Once again, not very easy to pose. Okay, whoa. Well, it's clunky, but at least it's not impossible to move. Let's see, how easy are the limbs, though? Wait, let me see. Okay, the limbs are a little easier to move into position. That's cool. Not too bad. Metang. Let's see, can you throw him? Cool. Yeah, you couldn't throw Electrode. I was hoping it would bounce like a teeter-totter. Can it throw like a boomerang? Nope. Mothim. Oh man, I thought the wings for Beautifly were hard to control. Come on, flap! Mudray? Or Mudbray, whatever. Yonk. Mudsdale. Oh god, like just all the little ponytails it has. Oh god, that'd be a nightmare to pose. Oh god, I'd hate to get trampled by that thing. You can tell just by the sound of its weight. Muma. It's like that almost looks like a snot bubble, but it's supposed to be some kind of dream cloud forming out of its head. But it looks so much weirder with this model. Doesn't help it how deflated it looks. Mashana. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool how these are obviously based on like the Dream Tappers. Like they're kind of like I think it's like something part of like Japan mythology. Like I think Drippy from Ni no Kuni was based on one of them too. Can't remember that Pokemon. Naganadel. Can't remember which one that's from. But let's see. Natu, I remember him. Not very poseable. I think this was the first Ultra Beast Pokemon we encountered. It's the one that Lily's mother tried modeling her after. Kind of creepy. Nincada. This one's not too easy to pose. Actually, yeah, this one's not too bad. Oh. Shit. Ninjask. I don't think the wings are poseable. But let's see, what about the feet, though? Noctowl. The feet are kind of questionable, but those pass. Wow. That actually threw pretty far. Octillery. I always liked Octillery. Didn't care too much for its pre-evolve form, though, but... Aw, and he looks so sad with a droopy nose and blah, blah, blah. Onyx. Holy! Whoa. I thought that was... And he sank into the ground. Holy shit, that thing is huge! I like all the concrete noises it makes, though. Okay, despite his size, though, this one's surprisingly easy to pose, as far as I know. Yeah, I like this one. It does have some collision problems, though. Yeah, of all the snake-like Pokemon, this one's actually the easiest to control. You can even flex his mouth, that's cool. Yeah, this one's nice, I like it. Oshawott. This one's going to be hard to control, I can imagine. Palossand. That actually makes the Pokemon look scarier when you see it in motion like that. You see like the little castles as its flailing arms. Yeah, Garry's mod. You can make some nightmarish Pokemon even more nightmarish. Palpatine, or Palpitoad, I mean. guy really needs to get his head checked. Pat Rat. I always hated his evolved form. Watchdog. It's just so creepy. Poniard. Fenpy. I always thought Fenpy was adorable. It's just a cute little elephant. This one's hard to pose, though. Formosa. Now this is obviously the Pokemon that Lusamine modeled herself after. Wasn't that her name? Wasn't that Lily's mom? Lusamine? I can't remember. It's such a creepy looking Pokemon though. It's just like some humanoid insect. You have to wonder if they ever are going to make an outer space Pokemon game. That kind of... Because, you know, it's like we already have evidence that there are alien Pokemon. So what if they made a Pokemon game that takes entirely on different planets? So you find, like, a lot of the Ultra Beast Pokemon and even more. That'd be kind of a bizarre idea for a next gen. Pokemon Galaxy. Let's see, like, what would be a good name for outer space ones? Pokemon Star and Pokemon... I mean, you can't go with Sun or Moon. That's already been taken. Pokemon Asteroid or something. Pokemon Star and Pokemon Meteor or something like that. Oh god, why does Piloswine look so saggy? Pineco. Pretty stiff. I thought Pineco actually had a bit of bounciness to him. But apparently not. What was that one called? Poiple or something like that? Yeah, they weren't even subtle there. They just thought, hey, you know what would be a funny name for a Pokemon? You know how some Italians have trouble saying purple and they go Poiple? Let's make that into a Pokemon. Politoed. It's such a strange evolution to come from the Poliwag family, but it's still kind of adorable. Kind of ridiculous to evolve, though. They have to trade it with a King's Rock attached. I really wish Pokemon games would get rid of that. Pokemon that can only evolve through trading. They need to come up with better methods for that. It sucks. I really hate that. But Poliwag, and I still find it disturbing that the swirl on its belly is actually supposed to be its organs. It's based on actual frogs where they're transparent and you can see their swirly little organs. Poliwag, this is a bad model. Look at that, just the way it deforms. I always thought the pink thing on Poliwags were its noses back then, but it turns out, that's actually their mouth as far as I know. You couldn't tell in the N64 era, though, because they didn't really draw a line for it, but in the modern games, you can definitely see it. I always liked the Poly Pokemon. I don't know why, I just thought they were kind of cool looking. It's funny how out of them all, though, Politoed is the only one that somewhat resembles a frog. So if it weren't for the fact that they were called, like, tadpole or frog Pokemon, I wouldn't have known that they were frogs. I mean, look at that. Does that look like a frog? I mean, yeah, he has frog-like cartoony eyes, but so far, like, these models are terrible. What is with Poliwrath? Why is he... looks like he got possessed. Okay, Porygon, separated. Okay, so this one would be easy to pose, I can imagine. Just assemble the pieces. Just to think, like, you could, like, really go overboard with this. Like, you could make, like, a humanoid Polygon if you summoned enough parts, and... Yep, just like, like this. Give him a buff body. Or a have like 2 clones of this part and make it his pecs or something, and then just keep building a bunch of limbs. Then he looks like this over buffed out Porygon. That'd be kind of funny. I'm not actually gonna sit here and do that though, but just the fun stuff you can do in Garry's mod, I guess. Let's see, Porygon 2. So here's another one that you can split into pieces. But here, let's see how he looks like formed together. Porygon Z, I never really liked it. I liked Porygon and Porygon 2, but Porygon Z is just such an underwhelming evolved form. Yeah, even Porygon 2 is separated. Porygon 2 is such a weird Pokemon. It really looks like a decoy duck. I'm not sure if that was the intention for Porygon, like if it was supposed to be a duck, but I always loved the idea of it, though, because Porygon was kind of considered like a failed prototype of the first digital Pokemon. So Porygon 2, so, you know, they decided to make it look polygonic. And so then with Porygon 2, it looks more smooth and curved, like an actual final product people want to make when it comes to making 3D models. Because back in the early days, people wanted computer animation to look like real life, but they couldn't quite get it. Everything looked so blocky and low res. And so, yeah, I kind of liked that inside joke of Porygon 2, how it's like that's what Porygon was supposed to look like. And then Porygon Z, I really don't know the story behind that. They claim it's an evolved form or an upgrade of Porygon 2, but it looks more like a corrupted version of it. You tell me, does this look like an evolved form, a perfection of Porygon 2? No, it looks like a corruption. So I don't see how that is an evolved form. That is a corruption, not an upgrade. Oh boy, Probopass. If Mr. Potato Head had an evolved form. Pupitar. Quagsire. Who else but Quagsire? I always love Quagsire. It's just such a derpy but cute looking Pokemon. Better than Slowpoke. Reunculus. This one doesn't pose very well, unfortunately. I always thought this was a weird Pokemon, though. I wouldn't say I hate him, though. It's just so weird. Rufflet. Samurott. And part of his body sank into the ground. Okay, this one's not going to be easy to pose. Oh god, like his head just has way too much weight. I hate the models that are just like a pose. They're such a chore to pose. It's so annoying. Sandile. I always like Sandile. I think the only thing that bugs me about it are its evolved forms, how it still has the same looking eyes. I always thought it should have had like meaner looking eyes, but it still has the beady looking eyes. And otherwise, I kind of like the Sandile family though. I just wish their eyes looked better. Let's see, Alolan Sandshrew. I'm not sure what, like, whose idea it was to take a sand Pokemon, turn him into an ice type, but I'll admit it kind of works, though, because it does make him look like an igloo, which is kind of funny. Fortunately, the model here is not very good. Not easy to pose, but... then, of course, the evolved form has icicles. I can't tell what is Sandslash supposed to be based on. Is it an echidna or a pangolin, or a mixture of the two, but... I mean, appearance-wise, it looks more like an echidna, but then, like, Sandshrew kind of looks like a pangolin. But then I think Sandslash looks more like an echidna. Sandgast. He always looks like he's in terrible pain. This looks less like a sandcastle, more like, a fried egg. Sock. Sock it to me. Okay, if this humanoid design, he can't be the... Oh, come on. And he is. His arms are a pain in the ass to pose. Well, actually, this is slightly easier. It's not as easy as, like, the other human characters, but compared to some of the other Pokemon, this one's a little easier, but it's still kind of annoying. And I think we're almost done with this list. Just a few more rows. Let's see, Scolipede. I always liked Scolipede. I thought it was kind of a cool looking Pokemon. Fortunately, the model's not very good. Seismitoad. Shedinja. I don't think this one... Yeah, this one doesn't have any posing at all. Such a weird Pokemon. Shieldon. Shuppet. Sigilyph. I always found it a missed opportunity. They should have had this Pokemon be related to the unknown. Like, this should have been like the leader of the unknown Pokemon. You gotta admit, it really looks like it resembles the unknown. Like the black color scheme, the eyeball. It's like, how was this not related to unknown? So weird. Not to mention how, like, the unknown were found in, like, temples as hieroglyphics. In fact, I think that's what they were. They're hieroglyphics, but made out of the actual English alphabet. And so, then you have Sigilyph, which is like a Pokemon found in temples. And so, come on, how come they never made a connection between Sigilyph and unknown? It's just so disappointing. Skorupi. Skuntank. Oh, this one's probably going to be hard to pose. I always found it... Skuntank is a really bizarre Pokemon, where it's a skunk where its tail is also part of its head. Like, I don't even think its tail can be separated from its head. The tip of its tail is its hairdo. It's such a bizarre looking Pokemon, but it's definitely unique. Slugma. This one's actually easy to animate. Okay. Solosis. It's just a butt covered in goo with a turtle on its head. Spinda. Spiritomb. Oh god. Let's see. I was hoping putting it in the dark would make it easier to look at. No, it doesn't. It just glows. Like, the lighting just reflects off it way too hard. Starmie. Let's see. You can't spin it. I liked how in the games it had, like, the animation where one, like, the front side is spinning and then the other side spins. And no, it doesn't work like that here. Bummer. Unless... Oh, okay, here. Never mind, there's two versions of it. One that's posable and one that isn't. So, I can see why they did it, though, because this one's a little too floppy. So, for those who just want it to stand around, you'd want to use the other one. But if you're trying to animate Starmie, here's the tricky one to work with. Same with Staryu. Let's see, can you throw him like a shuriken? Cool. Yeah, they should make a weapon out of that called the Staryu launcher. Just throws them like shurikens. Stunfisk. I don't know why some people hate this Pokemon. I think it's kind of cool to make a Pokemon based on that, because yeah, in real life there are a lot of fish like that where they're flat fish, and if you step on them, they can paralyze you. So it's like, yeah, it's fitting that they'd make a Pokemon out of that. To the point where it even has the eyeballs on its back. Oh, I like that. It makes it look like it's boogieing. It's like one of those little Caddyshack gophers. I wonder if it has a body group for its big mouth. Let's find out. Or maybe there's a separate model for it. I'm not sure, but... Nope. Can't open its mouth like that. Let's see, is there a separate model? There is a separate model, but it's just for the male version, so dang it. Let's see. Once again, too droopy. It looks like someone turned it into a coonskin hat, despite how it's a pig. Tangela. Weird Rayman ass looking creature. Oh god, Tang growth. Play jump rope with his arms. God, this is like a Pokemon that could be used in a horror movie. Tentacool. See how easy are the tentacles. Oh, Jesus. That thing is huge. It's one butt ugly Pokemon. Why is Tentacool so huge? Oh, never mind. Oh, I guess that was a reference to the Pokemon anime, because there's the giant Tentacool. So, okay. Not necessary, though, because there is a new tool nowadays that can resize the ragdolls. The ragdoll resizer. So, either way. It wasn't always available, though. So then again, this might have been made before the ragdoll resizer was a common tool for the public, but back then, if you wanted models to be bigger, you'd have to code them into the game physically, and it was hard for people to figure out how to do that, especially for those who don't know how to import models into the games. Tortuga. Okay, we're almost done. Oh god. What is it with the toxic tentacle Pokemon? They are such monstrosities. They get tangled up in their own body parts and spaz out. Trapinch. It doesn't open its mouth. That's unfortunate. Trubbish. Well, time to take out the trash. Timple. Tyranitar Mega. Well, this thing is hard to pose. Tyranitar. Ugh. Why are some of these Pokemon just so hard to pose? It's a rock Pokemon. It shouldn't be flailing around that much. Tyrogue. Do I even need to say what his thighs look like? Vespiquen. You are a Vespiquen. And she just looks hungover. Ding dong, the queen is dead. Victory Bell. Also known as the Venus James Trap. Victory Bell looks so weird when you flip them upside down. It looks less evil and more like a kind of look on his face. Vicavolt. Oh, I always love this thing. I miss Voltorb, but I always found it weird how this thing's diaper is a skull. That's just kind of creepy. Yeah, it's nice to know that something died just so a fat bird's bulging legs could stick out of it. Smushed against its fat ass. Voltorb. Okay, you can roll Voltorb just a little bit. Unlike Electro. He doesn't go very far, though. Oh, Watchdog. Oh, God, this thing looks nightmarish. It's like he could hypnotize you with those eyes. Those eyes make it look like he killed Eddie Valiant's brother. Derpy Weepin' Bell. Derp, derp, derp. Oh, derp, 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 derp. See, can this thing spin? Roll and roll. No. Whismer. This thing is so weird. And why does it have a little butthole? A big little butthole. I'm not sure what's weirder about it. Its butthole or what it evolves into. How does a weird little bunny like this evolve into such ugly monstrosities? Whooper! How can anyone hate Whooper? He's such a cute little mudfish. Fight to the death. Who would win, Whooper or Mudkip? Let's see. Wormadam. Like Wormadammit. Wormpole. Oh, God. Down to 2 Pokemon. With Xatu. And finally, one of the Ultra Beasts. Let's see. Xurkitree. Obviously a pun on the word circuitry. But yeah, this is one mess of a Pokemon. Is this even a Pokemon? It's like someone in Japan just saw like a big mess they made in their electronics room. All these cables, and they saw static electricity discharging out of it. They said, okay, I have a great idea for a new Pokemon. The wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man with a spark on his head. Okay, and I think that is it for my Garry's Mod video right now, and maybe I'll make another video and show off some of the other Pokemon, but man, I knew this was going to be a chore to get through, and yeah, it took a while to go through just all those Pokemon and some of the other models I looked through, but anyways, that's all I have to show for now, so thank you for watching, see you next time, and have a great day.